Hey everybody, welcome to the 8th International FASD Conference, all about adults and adolescents living on the spectrum. I'm your host, Jeff Noble. This is all being provided to you by CanFASD Research Network. We are at beautiful downtown Vancouver at the Hyatt. I'm so stoked about our first guest of the day. Her name is Audrey McFarlane, and Audrey is the Executive Director of CanFASD. I'm lucky enough to be appointed to the Ambassador Committee, and so a lot of questions I get when I say I'm affiliated with CanFASD is exactly what is CanFASD and what do they do? So we're going to hear it from the horse's mouth. Good morning, Audrey.
Oh, horse.
Well, yeah, okay. No, hey, we'll try that again. Okay, so you're the Executive Director. What does CanFASD do?
So we're a research network, and our goal is to stimulate research in areas that need to be done in this field to improve the lives of individuals with FASD. So we are less interested in research that is more pure scientific, so not the rat studies and the fish studies and those kinds of things.
Yeah.
We're interested in the impacts that have on real people and their families and their communities. So we bring researchers together with families, with individuals, with policymakers and service providers, so that they get all the perspectives and they understand the issues much better. And I think it really leads to some great work. And then when the research is done, we try to put that information into a usable terms that people can actually make sense of, and that it'll be meaningful.
Dr. Kelly Coons, that's what she does,
yes,
right?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
For sure. Now, I heard you once say, we don't fund the research, we stir the pot.
That's right.
What do you mean by that?
Well, so we really want to stimulate things. So we may give a researcher a little bit of money to have some of those conversations to better understand what the issues are. For example, we're doing a project around housing for people with FASD.
Don't give me any points because we're going to have her on talking about it.
But we did bring together all of those groups of people so that the researchers could understand all of the perspectives and what was needed. Now that meeting now leads to them having the information to be able to apply for a much larger grant from the government or from another research body, and it makes it much stronger and much more meaningful for everyone, right?
Right on. One of the things that we are trying to bring to the forefront, I know I do it for caregivers, and you guys are trying to do it for frontline professionals. You guys created an online course, right? Can you tell us, the audience, about that in case there's a frontline worker looking to get involved with that?
Sure. So we have now a few online courses. We have one that's for clinicians that are working in diagnostic clinics that maybe need a refresher, maybe need to understand the new diagnostic guidelines in Canada a little bit better and what their role is on the diagnostic clinic.
Yeah.
Then we have a basic course that we're just developing, should be ready in the summer, just basic information about FASD that's evidence-informed. And then we have another course that's available now, or we'll be launching right away here, around prevention. So,
nice.
Yeah. So
Dr. Nancy Poole?
Yeah, Nancy's going to be involved in it, but it's based on a project that was developed in Alberta called the Prevention Conversation. So how do you have these difficult conversations with families? And it really teaches doctors and nurses and social workers how to be sensitive, to understand what all the issues are around prevention, and to hopefully we'll have much better results when they have that information.
So your status isn't to be, your mandate isn't to be status quo, right?
No.
It sounds like you are a research network for the people because you understand the people on the front lines are dealing with it every day and they need the information the most.
And so that people like you have the evidence that you need when you go out and talk to caregivers.
Yeah.
You have the right information, you're giving them the most current stuff. You know, sometimes trainers get stuck in old ways and old information. And so we're really here to try to give it to you in a way that you can then share it with people that's meaningful, right?
I've been using, before I've been even affiliated with CanFASD, but was using your information for years because I think it's so good. Your roster of people are amazing, and they do a great job of disseminating the information. But they're in the labs, they're at their universities. So I travel around and share that information. So I really appreciate it. I love being a part of CanFASD. I think so far it's working out, right?
Yeah, well, you taught us a few things as well about social media. So
Yeah, absolutely. So social media, follow CanFASD. They got a great page. Now, say I'm watching this, I'm brand new to this whole endeavor, and I don't know where to go to get a diagnosis. Do you guys have an answer for that?
Sure. So on our website, we have a listing of all the diagnostic clinics in Canada. So you can find the information by province or territory, and all the contact information is there. We update it once a year so it stays current. So it's easy.
I also have parents that once they get it, they understand it, they also become empowered and they want to be a part of this movement. Do you guys have opportunities for that at CanFASD?
Yeah, so it's really important to get connected to us, to sign up for our blogs, because that's where we put out the calls for research participation, or sometimes for meetings. We want your feedback about different things, so that's where we would do that.
Absolutely, I think that's awesome. So as we can see, the crowd is starting to gather, and I don't want to strain your voice. You got a cold, but I want to thank you very much for, guys, this is, she puts all of this on. This is, I make a suggestion, and you answered the bell, and I think it's working, and so thanks, dude.
Hey, thanks.